Today on In the Woodyard, we've got work to do. We've got a delivery first thing this morning, and then we've got some stacking to do. Let's get busy. So the first thing we're going to do this morning is I'm going to deliver some wood, and it is pine. That's what the guy wants. I've delivered pine to him before. They use it for their backyard campfires, and he said pine is fine, so that's what I'm going to take them. So for those of you that don't think you can sell pine, I wouldn't say a lot of it, but enough that it's worth having. I would say this year I've probably sold more pine than I have in any other year, and I usually sell in a total year probably anywhere from 12 to 20 face cords. So 4 or 5 full cords, 6 full cords, something like that. That's kind of an average year. So it's worth having. And people that burn it, generally it's for an outside campfire. I have a few people that burn it right in their house, and their houses have not exploded. They've been just fine because the wood is dry. And pine will burn just like any other wood. It just has a few sparks sometimes and some snap, crackle, and pops. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna load this up, we're gonna go deliver that, and when we come back, my trailer is full of wood from processing, and I'm gonna back that up over on the other side over there, and we're going to be stacking that. It is a glorious morning today here in the Woodyard. This morning when I got up, it was 57 degrees. Right now it's about 62. It's still, I know it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. It is just beautiful out. Excellent fall day. There's supposed to be mostly sunshine and breezy, so it's going to be a great day to get some work done. So I better get chucking wood. Wood in the truck. There it is. It is a face cord or a third of a cord of pine. Now this was mostly red pine. Well, it's red pine and white pine. There's no jack pine in here, and it was just a row that was right here. So I got one left, and this wood right here is over a year old. It's about 1.5 years old, and that'll be the last of the old stuff. So then everything from over there, where you see the cookie bin, all this is just kind of junky here. I have to get rid of all this all through here. And right here I got my bundles of kindling, and then I got more kindling to make bundles. And then I've got a little bit of pine down here, which is stuff that's about, yeah, this is 1.5 years old too. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 5 face cords left in there, but this is all ashes buried on it that I got to get cleaned out. So once I get this straightened out and get this sold, then this whole area through here will all be open. I'm going to get this all organized eventually this fall, and this will all be wood all through here. I think from when I first started my business, I had about 40 face cords, I think, from that tree right here, this walnut tree, right through here down to where the cookie bin is. That's where I had all my wood, right here. This is the only spot I had wood, but since then obviously it's grown way out that way. So this has all got to be cleaned up, and I will make it so that it's nice and neat and clean and organized. And this is a spot I like to put wood that's slower drying, because it's kind of in the shade part of the day here. So pine, popple, or aspen, box elder, stuff like that. That's kind of where I plan on putting that, or even ash along there is fine. Stuff that will dry fast. The stuff that dries slower, I generally want to put out into the sun, out into the wind, out into the field there. So that's that. Now, next thing I got to show you, I got something new. Well, it's not new, it's actually used, but to me it's new. I got another trailer, but it's not a dump trailer. I got a cargo trailer. I bought this with my brother-in-law. We went in on it together because we both kind of occasionally have needed a cargo trailer. We've borrowed them, rented them. I used to have one years ago, but I sold it. And what we're going to do is we're going to be actually converting this into kind of a camper slash cargo trailer conversion. We're not going to make it 100% into a camper, but it's going to be used as a camper primarily, and occasionally we'll be able to use it for hauling stuff. Now this was a rental. We bought this at a rental store. This is from Watoma Rentals. It was one of their older trailers. What happened was a little dent there you can see. So what happened is that they rented it to a guy, and then he went through a drive-through, and one of the big metal posts that they have in a drive-through, he scraped it along this side, and he bent this axle right here. So this axle right here is a brand new axle, and they put all new bushings and new bolts and everything on it. new fenders on both sides, new tires, and it's got a few dings here and there. It's not perfect by any means. I believe it's about a 6 or 7 year old trailer. It's got a dent across there, but we're okay with that because it's just for hauling stuff. It is a 7 by 14 V-nose. So I'll come inside here. I think you guys will be able to see in here. Oh yeah. So right now it's just empty space, but we're going to insulate the roof. All of these panels unscrew. We're going to do that, and we're going to run wiring. We're going to put some outlets in here. Up front, we're going to put a shelf that will go across, like a countertop. We'll put a little sink in it and have a drain hole going right outside. We'll have a stove we'll put right here, and then a shelf above that. So just the front is all we're going to do for shelves. And then in the back here, what we're going to do is we're going to put a bracket on the top, both sides, and we'll build a bunk in there that it's removable, so we can lift it out, take it out, and we'll put a twin mattress there. And then we'll do another one just maybe like a foot off the ground down here. So our bunks will be in the back side, and we'll be able to sleep in the back, but yet we'll be able to take the bunks out. And then I'm going to put some type of a table either on this side or probably over on this side that will be a fold-up table that will drop down with legs that we can sit at. And we'll just have folding chairs because we want to be able to take it out and have this all be an open space so that we can use it for hauling. So we're going to insulate the roof, and then we're going to put a stove probably like right here. We're going to put like a camper stove in, a vented one that goes into the wall. And then when we pull all the sides off, we're going to put foam insulation, probably like 1 inch, I think should fit in behind here if I remember right. Up here on top, we'll probably put 2 inch, the pink foam, and then we'll put the milk board on the top on this here to cover all that up. So we're basically going to insulate it, put a stove in it, a sink, a cooking stove, I should say furnace, not a stove. We're going to put a furnace into it, and then we'll probably carpet the bottom with some like indoor-outdoor type short nap carpeting just to kind of deaden the sound. So it'll still work as a cargo trailer, but we will have something that we can use for camping. And now, this trailer sells brand new for about $9 grand. Between 9 and 10, depending on what make you get something like this. We found some that were about, I think 87, 89, right in that price range. The tandem axles are something we kind of wanted. We wanted to get a better tracking trailer, something that can haul a little bit more weight. And it's got the mag wheels. We still got to get a spare tire for it. But they sell for, like I say, between 9 and 10 is kind of the going price for these. And we got this for 45, so half price. And it's going to work just fine for us. It's got active brakes. It's got breakaway brakes. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a one-piece top. It's a solid one-piece top. And it's got the drop-down back door for loading. So I'll flip this out so you guys can see. I'm sure you guys know how these work, but I can get this flipped over here. And it just drops down. Come on, baby. I know you wanna. There we go. All right. So there she is. So it's got the ramp, and then this flips over so you can roll stuff up in here. So yeah, it's a nice big open space. So this will be a real nice thing to have for us. We'll get a lot of use of it. And the reason we bought it together is neither of us really needed one. Neither of us really wanted to buy one individually because you couldn't really justify it. But for a couple thousand a piece, well, probably about 3,000 a piece once we get everything done to it that we want to do. We'll probably put another 1,000 into it with all the stuff we're going to do. We'll do it all ourselves. And we'll have a nice little camper that's a kind of an incognito camper because it won't look like a camper. And it's like a cargo trailer. And the only thing we're going to build permanent is going to be up in the front there pretty much. The only other thing we're going to do, I forgot to mention, is we're probably going to put at least one window on each side. Maybe a third one up here. That's a very good chance we'll put a third one, and we may even put one into the door. We might put a window just to get a little more light in here, and we want the slide-by screen window type so we can get some air in here. There's no roof vent in this, and we don't really want a roof vent because they generally get broke. It's just one more thing to hassle with because we basically want to keep the heat in as much as possible. The vent isn't that bad, and if we put the windows in, because the windows are about Somewhere between 150 and 200 bucks a piece, depending on what size we get and what style. I think we can get a lot of the windows I looked at are around 120, 130 bucks, 140 bucks, something like that. So we'll probably put 3 windows in. That's the plan. Okay, we're gonna go deliver this wood right now. There's the wood pile. That's where it's gonna go. So we just threw it through the door right here. We just back up. I do that for a lot of people. We'll just throw it right out the back door where they're gonna store it. So I get as close as possible, which is really nice. And here they are, the proud new owners of Firewood. You guys wanna say hi to your friends?
Hi friends, hi Mom.
Hi Brandon, hi Tyler.
There we go. Okay, gonna go down the road, go do another load. I'm back from my delivery and I just backed up the trailer here to where I'm going to be stacking, and what I need to do is to put a corner out here. So I got a corner brace piece like that right about here so I can finish this full cord off. There's actually 2 full cords, and I'm going to do another one there, so I'm just going to keep stacking. And I was going to use these plastic pallets that I got from one of my nice viewers, and I just noticed that these do not have holes drilled into the legs there, so I got water in here. So, and I don't want water to go in there because that'll freeze, probably, it might break, or it might just hold water that is in contact with the wood. Now these first ones that I did over here, these blue ones, they have holes drilled in the bottom, so those will drain, so that's not a problem. But now I'm on to the black ones. So I just went and I got my drill, and I am going to drill out some holes in the bottom of all of these here so that the water will drain out of them. So I'm going to do that right now. We're going to just dump this water out. Just going to drill like 3 holes in each one. Okay, here's the scoop. I just measured on this last pallet. I got a full cord on right down here, and this is the start of another full cord, and 8 feet is right here, right at the end of this pallet. So I'm gonna put a pallet on the end here, but because I didn't think of that ahead of time, I gotta come up with something different for bracing. So I'm gonna run some braces down a little bit at an angle, and then I'm gonna do a leg coming down from a back pallet down this way, kind of like I have this one, but I'm just gonna stick it into the ground. Maybe I'll pound a stake into the ground, keep it so it doesn't come this direction. So building's happening. There it is. Once again, I have created a thing of beauty. So I just put a little brace piece down here. It's not holding great. I nailed across the bottom, which is fine. And I put a little brace piece over here. Kind of sort of hit it. You can see nails sticking out, but it's good enough to hold it. And then I put a brace piece back here. I just put a piece across there, nailed that in there. And then I drove a post down in here, put a nail into that too, so it's tied in. So it's solid. It's a nice end piece. It'll work out just fine. Another thing of beauty. And I was planning on going another full cord this direction, but it would end up like right about here, and see how much farther this would, it would stick way out to here. And I kind of want it to end because I want to be able to plow through here. So I'll probably just do 2 full cords, 2 full cords, 2 full cords, out to about right here is where it is. I got this big stump underneath here, so I can't really go this way any farther. And I wanted to keep this kind of open over in here, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna keep going this direction. So now the stacking is gonna happen. But before I do that, I am going to switch hats. not switch hats as in, you know, a different job. I'm gonna actually switch hats because it's starting to get warm out here now. I'm starting to sweat now that I'm actually doing some work. So I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I have these mission hats, and I've showed these to you guys before in videos, but for those of you that are new, they really work really nice. I've got two of them. I got a ball cap style hat like this, a black one. And what it is there's actually like foam inside here. It's a real thin layer of foam. And there's the brand, not affiliated at all, but if you want to buy them, they're pretty darn nice. It's vented on top, and you get it wet is what you do. You get the whole thing wet, so I'll show you how it works. And you put it on, and it's excellent. It really cools you off. Plus I want to kind of keep the sun off my ears, the back of my neck, and just basically create some shade here because it is very sunny today. It's not hot out, but there's really not much of a breeze. So basically I just kind of grab the top like this, kind of scrunch it all down, and then I just kind of pour the water right into the brim like this. I just kind of pour some in here. You can see, just pour it in like that, like that, like that. And then I kind of just fold it up, kind of give it a little squeeze, let the water kind of soak into it. And then we're going to do the same thing again. I just try to find a spot where I make a little tray kind of like in here and just kind of dump the water in. Usually about a half a bottle is what it takes. I go inside sometimes to just run tap water on it too, but I'm out here. I got bottled water in my truck all the time. So it's getting better, it's starting to get wet, starting to get a little heavy. I get it to this point where it's dripping. You're supposed to wring it out. I leave it wet because it lasts longer that way. So I just folded it up again. Again, I'm just gonna pour some into these areas like this, and it's kind of running out the bottom. So what I try to do is just kind of fold it over on itself, kind of squish it around and get it nice and wet. So there it is. There, it's nice and wet now. You can see it's all shiny and everything. And it's got a string, which I don't usually use. That's actually what I consider the back. So I just throw it on like this. Here it is. It's a goofy hat, but it's very cool. I mean, it cools you off right away. And gotta kind of flip the brim up. There you go. Now I got my goofy hat on. Now I'm gonna start some stacking. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I am going to come back here and I'm gonna tip the trailer up. That should be good. I usually go till it just starts, the wood starts to fall out, which it started to do. And again, for those of you that maybe haven't seen it before, I have my stacking sleeve on. I got this from Anne-Marie. It's a cool thing. The name on it is a Schwer, S-C-H-W-E-R. What you can do is you can fill your arm up and you don't get that rash all over in your arm if you're short sleeve like today. I usually like to wear like a flannel shirt, but it's pretty warm out, so I don't really want a flannel shirt on today. But we're gonna get this wood all stacked in here. So this is mainly ash, but there is also some maple, and there's some ironwood, and there is a little bit of elm, I think. Yeah, here, these are ironwood. Very dense, very heavy. And so this is all gonna get stacked right in here. All right, time to speed things up. Well, I got this stack complete over here. I got this one pretty full, and I got this one pretty full. So I need to move the trailer out because I got a little bit left to go. I've been throwing chunks that are odd size over there, and then I'm throwing the kindling right in here. And then the ones that need to resplit, I'm throwing in a pile off to this side. Now, something happened when I raised the trailer up before. When I went and the wood slid down, more weight went to the back. And this is what happens when you forget to latch your hitch. Look at that. She popped right off of there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower my stand down a little bit and get it so it doesn't just slam down, but I'm gonna lower the trailer down because right now it's too high to even grab a hold of it. So yeah, you wanna make sure you clasp your collar down, because look, I can bob this whole thing up and down here. So look at that. Luckily, because it's a tandem axle, it's not going anywhere, but yeah, you want to make sure you got your trailer hooked up properly. Okay, so I lowered this leg a little bit. Now I'm just going to bring this down slowly and we'll see what happens here. Well, it seems to balance pretty good on the two wheels, on the two axles. Well, she's coming down now. I got to get some more weight. There we go. Now I can hook it up with the tractor. I can reattach my boo-boo here. So we'll hook her back up. Okay, so I figured out what the problem was. What I did was when I dropped this down, my chain that I use all the time was underneath, kind of close to the post of the ball here. So it didn't allow it to drop down all the way, and I didn't really pay attention to it. I just dropped it on and it wasn't completely latched, so it was actually sitting on top. It was latched but sitting on top of the ball, so watch out for that. That would have been a very bad thing to do, you know, towing it. So my own fault. The chain is what was in the way, so now I know I got to get that thing moved up. But I use that chain so much, I unwrap it and then I use it for different things, that it's kind of handy to have it right there. So, but my plan is, and those of you know that I've got my counterweight here. These are inner tubes filled with gravel. I got about 500, 600 pounds, something like that back here with the chains and everything. I'm going to be getting a basket to hook into the back here that will hold all of my weights and some metal plates, and I'll have room to put, it's gonna be a big enough one that I'll be able to put a chainsaw, axe, stuff like that. I'll be able to store stuff right back in there. So that's on my list of stuff to get. It's gonna happen pretty soon. Okay, I got her hooked back up. Now I can go back to loading. So I'm gonna raise her back up here again because I want it to be, where the heck did I do with my, there it is, way down in the hole here. I'm gonna raise it back up because I want it to be as high as possible so that when I'm grabbing the wood, it comes to me. You want a nice big slope there. So we're just gonna raise it up, and I'll pull ahead a little bit and put another pallet down. So there she goes. Oh, third stage. So it's a 3-stager here. And that's about the end right there. There we go. She's up. We're gonna go do some more stacking. Empty trailer. So a couple things I want to mention because people will ask, I'm sure, in the comments. Number one, the tarp I put down I got an idea for one of you viewers. I don't remember who it was, but thanks. See, I just put the tarp down, kind of keeps everything off the ground. It's a nice way to do that. And yeah, I got about a scoop and a half full of chunks, and I just ordered a bunch of bags. I'm getting the mesh bags that Scheib gets. They are I think they're like 20 something by 20 something bags. They're a bigger bag. And when I get them, what I'm gonna do is where I've been dumping back there, I'm gonna go back there and I'll just start filling bags right back where I've been dumping. I'll just get as much off the ground as I can now. And then in the future, I'm gonna take all those odd chunks and slivers and pieces and put them in bags. I'm gonna sell it as, you know, kindling or just a bag of chunk wood. And so that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna continue to separate out the kindling like I did here. I got about a wheelbarrow full. There's one down here, so you can see it's about a wheelbarrow full or so, which is fine. Then this is the stuff that was buried in the kindling or in the chunks in the back of the trail. I'm gonna stack that right away. And this is the stuff I'm gonna resplit. Now, something I'm gonna bring up because a lot of you have been watching and you know about the different wedges I've had. I believe the 8-way is what I'm gonna probably go to. This was with the 12-way here, and with the right size wood, you gotta have the right size wedge, and I've got all different sizes of wood, so it's not super efficient. So in the future, I'm gonna have to order wood that's more to what I want, and then I'll use the wedge that's appropriate for that type of wood. So I'm gonna bring the splitter up here, and I'm gonna split these chunks right here and just get them stacked. Now, one of the things also I'm gonna mention, most people wouldn't resplit this. They're all split. I mean, they're either in halves or there's some thirds in there, some bigger chunks, but they're just a little too big for what I want. And they'd probably be fine if I just mixed them in. People would get some bigger chunks, but I want it to dry faster. And leaving them in big chunks are not gonna dry as fast. They always take quite a bit longer if they're in big chunks. So I want my pieces, instead of being, you know, this size right here, which is pretty big, I want them to be more like this size, which is right here, so this size. So basically anybody can pick it up with one hand. So there is some bigger stuff I did leave in the stuff I just stacked here, but it's nice size. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it at all, but I just want it to dry a little faster. So see, like the size of these right here, I can pick all these up with one hand, no problem. You know, they're what, 4 or 5 inches across, something like that, which they're gonna be fine. It's ash, it'll dry fast, and it's maple, so that stuff will all dry good. But I do want it to dry down, so I'm gonna pop these down right now and get these stacked because I'm running out of time. Gotta get moving. There it is, wood stacked. I took my debris and dumped it, and all I got left to do now is go dump these cookies because I just got done dumping the kindling. I went and did that, so now we're gonna go dump these chunks in a cookie bin. This is all I got left to do is chuck these in, and then I got to go work the rest of the day into the night. About the next 10 hours in my photography business, because I got photography and then a bunch of editing to do on images for customers, and I've got retouching and stuff like that to do. And then tomorrow, when you come back, because I know you're going to come back at 5:30 a.m. for tomorrow's video, I'm going to get the chainsaws out. Actually, it won't be in the morning. It's going to be late in the afternoon tomorrow. I got to work all day tomorrow, but tomorrow in the afternoon, I'm going to cut the jumbled pile that's up over there. I'm gonna work on that little bitty stuff, because if I get that cut and split right away, I can sell it this year yet. So I want to get that done, all those little ones. I got a bunch of that to do because I have a lot of small stuff I don't want to run through the processor. So I'm going to cut it all up with the chainsaw. So tomorrow I should have enough time, I think, at the end of the day to where I can cut it up. So that's what's camping tomorrow, 5:30 a.m. Between now and then, go to my channel. There's 800 videos waiting for you to watch right now. Good night, Irene.